And it builds women as well too for families, but it's enduring that first family you were supposed to stay committed to unless somebody quits on you, which is a whole different subject. So if someone quits on a woman and hurts on a woman, and then she's hurt a second or third time, the way women endure pain is they start comparing it to every single situation and they feel everything. And they end up having PTSD when they end up encountering men that they may truly love. They're automatically triggered and think this situation isn't going to work. And it reminds them of the time that they love somebody and they destroy the relationship. But I will say this. I say we're weak individuals because of the strength, the things we're supposed to endure from men and women. I was in mental health for 15 years. Mental health, as much as y'all keep saying therapy, that's the go-to for women. Men don't need, families is what gave us therapy. That's why we had grandfathers, uncles, grandmothers, relatives. They taught us to be men and women. Mental health is teaching us not to have accountability and responsibility for our actions, especially women. They'll meet men on these panels, on these spaces, and expect the man to be 100%. And then when the man is asking for her to be 100% woman, she says she's triggered. She says she gaslighted. She says she need to heal. She heals it to the end of her days. Every time I'm asking a lady or brothers are asking women to do some things for men, they always healing. Brothers are trying to heal from the risk of if they're dealing with women who are still healing, and then they project and flip it back on the men, and men have to heal. So in the same respect, when you say you 50-50, no pain, no gain, you have to be able to endure what a man, the pain a man does. But men are made for this. Men are ready to endure life. But then when women want the pleasures of men and the things they get from power, but when they start getting hurt, they end up trying to be women again. And they have no accountability and responsibility, nor are they made to endure that type of pain.
So if the man doesn't have a family, if he doesn't have uncles and fathers and grandfathers to go to, then what should he do if he needs to work on himself?
So majority of when we talk about men and women, most of those men and women are coming from overmothered and underfathered homes. But a lot of men still end up, because of life, get taught how to be men. They're forced to be men, even if they don't have fathers. So I know you take it back like that, but a lot of men are still willing to do their duty. They still will go to other men. The problem is what they think is a man is an average man who can sustain a household, and they meet women who say that's not enough. When Anton, from the very beginning, that's why I said we flip right back to what happens. Anton could be an extraordinary man, and certain men that are elite, that's extraordinary. Most men ain't never going to reach Anton's level. Most women ain't going to reach it either. So what happens when two people meet each other? I know you look like that too, Bruce. I don't know why. When they meet each other, the man wants to be a good man, but the woman says, I want more. I want more money. I want a bigger house. I want a nicer car. I want more. The family isn't enough anymore. Women want luxury. Women want to be prioritized, and they want to be the man, and they can care less about a family. And that's what women brag about almost every single day. You don't need a marriage. You don't need a man. You don't need no babies. And men y'all expect a man to still fight for it.
A man learns how to be a man through his community, through his job. I mean, it's unfortunate for the ones that don't have fathers, but because they are the providers and they're protectors, they learn just by walking outside. Right. So if they do something a certain way, they know that shit ain't gonna work. So they got to switch it up and learn, and they're gonna learn through their failures. We have to be accountable, or we bums, deadbeats, and unestablished men. We save women when they're not accountable. So if you do me balance, you could do me wrong right now, and 20 men will come save you because you did me wrong. You don't have to be accountable in today's society. You're not shamed or judged. People come straight to save you.
But I do want to come in and say we do need therapy. Men do need therapy. Men need therapy. We're not gonna do that and just say,
you know what the funny thing about it?
Hold on. I need to make sure the people in the audience hear this. Men need therapy. We're not just going to just jump over that and act like women just know. Men need therapy also. We dealt with trauma. Women dealt with trauma. If you Black, you need to sit in front of a Black male or female therapist and have a conversation with what went on with you, period.
A therapist can't advise you on what to do. That's not the point. It is the point. I worked in. Did you work in? Mr. Lego, did you work in? Hold on. Your profession is what you. Hold on, brother. Your profession is what you're doing right now. Were you in mental health for 15 years? It actually makes us narcissists. Everybody focus on self-love. Everything's about self. You were supposed to learn about those things as you became a grown woman and grown man.
Therapy gives you.
The problem is we don't know how to. We don't have a family.
Therapy.
and we don't know how to love other people, and we don't have responsibility or knowledge of duty. The therapy is actually.
But if you don't have anybody to teach you that, you're
not going to teach.
Ali, stop for 1 second, man. Every therapist is a person. They're a human being. Okay. So it's not like it's a box and you just go to this therapist. These are different people. Okay. So if one person is unable or doesn't want to do something, you go to another therapist. These are people. These men are fathers. These women are mothers. Like if you're talking like therapy is a thing. Therapy, going to a therapist, these are people. So if one person is unable or doesn't want to do this and that, you go to another therapist. These are damn people, bro. And this thought process of you can't go to a person that knows more than you to actually get something out of yourself. That's some crazy shit.
Mr. Lego, let me ask you a question. Because I've been saying this for a long time. And so I'm glad that it's finally another man up here that actually aligns with what it is that I've been saying, right? How do you know that you healed?
I'm not about being healed. I'm about getting more information. It's not about healed. See, I don't run around and say you're healed, you're not healed.
But if like Balance described, you have unresolved trauma, how do you determine whether or not you healed? Because if you go to a regular doctor, right? If you go to, a person that is solving for a physical issue that you may have, right? You have a measurable that you can identify to determine whether you were successful. If you broke a leg and then they treat you and then you get a cast or whatever, so on and so forth. If they have surgery and they operate and they have open heart surgery, whatever, right? How do you determine whether or not you are successfully healed when it comes to?
So I can answer that. When your triggers are no longer there, it's important. A lot of people, they don't get triggered until they actually get into a relationship or in a stressful or strenuous type of environment or whatever. And then they're going to react in a certain type of way. It's something called regression. You can look that up. People regress in certain situations when they're triggered. They turn into their child. Not their child, but they turn into their inner child. They start acting up or whatever. And when you get to the point where you're in a relationship or a strenuous situation or a stressful situation, and you find yourself no longer reverting back to your childhood issues or whatever, and you're able to stay conscious, that doesn't mean you're healed. That means that you either have the tools to deal with the trigger, or the trigger is no longer there. But you're never fully healed.
Hold on. Let me just add this one last thing. Here's the problem, is that people are identifying weaknesses and triggers that are just naturally who we are as men.
Right.